Speaking of hits, because I do want to touch on this, I think a few reporters are taking advantage of kind of the new Twitter sphere. I'm wondering what your guys' thoughts on a few reporters here. I know you guys are big on what is his name here? Ricky Shaw.
Yeah.
News, is that what it is? This is kind of the epitome of the transformation of news, because we're looking at a 12-year-old comes in. How can you be 12 and in IMSA? I mean, we see here Jake Wesley. Obviously, we had him on the show. Robert Murray and others. I would say even Nick Hamlin has had a few stories, and he's like 8 or something. So, Ricky Shaw, 12 years old, is pretty impressive. What do you guys have to say with the kind of new age youth reporting? Is it ruining America?
Well, undoubtedly. I mean, that's the first thing we need to assume. But I think what's been especially impressive is that you have to keep in mind the reason these kids have been so successful is because their process is unencumbered by puberty. The rest of us, right, we are dealing with the effects of puberty every single day, right?
Every minute.
We have hair in places, and we have deep voices that people don't want to listen to. We sweat, right? We have man smell, right? These kids don't have that, right? That allows them to get even closer to the sources that they're trying to get. You know what I'm saying, Jordan?
The other thing is I mean, you look at these young boys trying to report news, and all it takes is a quick look at their Twitter bio. I mean, he says right there, dedicated to putting the work in, and that's the kind of hustle that you want to see from a 12-year-old reporter. Because without that, what do you have? What do you have?
Nothing. You just have a dumb kid. Two types of people are willing to say that sentence: bad rappers and young beat reporters dedicated to putting the work in.
Right. Is there a way to quantify that hustle? I know, Sabermetrics, they argue like, you can't talk about hustle. Can you quantify the hustle? Can you do it? Or is this unmatched?
No.
I think you got to look at the cell phone used in play. I mean, you can look at Ricky Shaw. That's clearly a flip phone. I mean, that.
It's not even a flip phone. If you look at what Ricky's using to report these rumors, you have to understand that he's working with limited resources that require to put the work in. Dedicated. Putting the work in.
Beautiful.
Well, Jordan, that might be actually a physics reference, because what if that means he's charging his phone, right? He's putting the work in the phone.
Work goes in, news comes out.
It's like that Willy Wonka thing where they
Matt Kemp to the Orioles, motherfuckers. It's happening. You can put it on the board. Yes.
I hear the Orioles are going to Matt Kemp, but that's just me.
Orioles traded to Matt Kemp.
Ricky Shaw actually tweeted our show a few days ago, I want to say, saying that the Lester was going to the Cubs. So, I mean, honestly, he's been right so far. I want to get to a few questions, though. I'm crying. It's just so beautiful to hear. It's beautiful. But to think that our society has gone so far from, talking to people to now you put something in a flip phone and there it is for everyone. Free information. Communist, I would
Jordan,
say.
Hold up. Can you even tweet from a flip phone?
I think you got to send it as a text message.
Yes, I think you're right on that. And they always had that internet thing, but no one ever used it, and it was super slow. I mean, maybe.
Right.
Possible.
I actually wasn't allowed to text until I was a freshman in high school.
Well, that's why you're not a reporter, man. That's why you have not made it yet, is because I would blame your parents for that one.
I mean, one thing I think that's worth mentioning is it's not just kids getting in on this reporting action. We got some other maybe qualified adults. Milbelt Rodriguez. Do you guys have any thoughts on him?
Yes.
I thought it was your belt.
So, of course, the great Milbit. So I know Jake Wesley has tried to defend his connections with Milbit in the past on an interview with you, Jack. Am I right?
Yes, it was.
Right.
I'm sorry. Milbit sounds like the name of some elf from some fantasy movie.
I'm Milbit the Bold, and I have breaking news.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing about
Milbit.
Milbit
Jack,
Rodriguez just proves you can put anything in front of a Latino-sounding last name, and it's okay. I hope this is not a real person, because I'll feel pretty bad.
That's the other thing. That's the other thing, is wondering how many of these are literally bots. And that says way more about our society than 12-year-olds reporting